Although I didn't necessarily enjoy my experience in the military, as I talked about in my video on that last week, I did learn a lot from that experience, and I most certainly would not be the person that I am today if I hadn't gone through that. So here are just 4 of the most important lessons that I learned that also have applications to everyday life. The first lesson I learned is that the true test of a person's character isn't when life is easy for them and everything is comfortable, but rather the exact opposite, when you're faced with great difficulty and under extreme stress. Because in that case, there is some adversity for you to overcome, and how you deal with that is going to be an indicator of what your character is comprised of. Whereas in the former case, you can just kind of sit there and claim all day long that you have these redeeming traits, but there's no challenge, no adversity that's going to prove you right or wrong. So in those moments in the military, when you're just all out miserable, you're cold, wet, hungry, or tired, and you still have a mission to accomplish, you still have to ruck up the hill or lead the tactical exercise or circumvent the obstacle, then are you going to overcome all that and still accomplish your mission and do it right? Because if you do, then you've just proven that you have traits like persistence and determination, strength, teamwork ability, leadership ability, and so on. Whereas if you just kind of throw your hands in the air and give up, or if you start complaining or something, then you've proven the exact opposite. The second lesson I learned was how incumbent it was upon me to appreciate all those seemingly insignificant luxuries and privileges that I have in everyday life. Because I know what life without those things is like. When you're in the military, you have them taken from you. You don't have so much as the simple knowledge that you get to go home at the end of every day and sleep in a warm bed. You don't know when the next time is that you get to take a comfortable private shower, or that you get to eat what you want and when you want, and all those things. Whereas a lot of other people, I think it's very easy for them to take it for granted because they don't have that standard for comparison. They don't know that life could be so much worse. And so when I hear people complaining about trivial things like, man, I had to work until 6 o'clock today instead of 5, I just look at that and say, that's nothing in comparison to what I've been through. Just try working damn near 24-hour days for a month, and then we'll see how you feel. Right, so don't take those things for granted and appreciate them, knowing that they actually add a lot more value to your life than you might realize. The third lesson I learned was that sometimes the only person that you can rely on to help you overcome any kind of adversity is yourself. And so therefore, it's very important to have self-reliance be one of your defining personality traits, because in those moments, time and again in the military, when you're confronted with a daunting task ahead of you and you're under that stress that we talked about, there is no such thing as throwing your hands in the air and giving up, or crying or complaining and thinking that the hill's going to move out of its way for you so you don't have to climb up it, or that the weather is just going to magically get warmer. There is no reprieve. The only person that's going to get through that for you is you. So you have to buckle down and say, you know what, this sucks, but there's nothing I can do about that, so I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to focus on the task at hand. I'm going to be determined and persistent, and I'm going to make it through till the end. And I think that's a very important lesson that has applications in everyday life, because you will be confronted with tough moments like that. And if you're constantly relying on other people or some other reprieve to help you through those difficult times, then you will never learn how to survive on your own, and that's going to get you into trouble. And fourth, I learned that it's very easy to confuse looking cool with actually having strength and true toughness, because anybody can do those things that make you look cool. Anybody can shoot guns and wear a cool looking uniform and fight and do all those things, but not everybody can persist through adversity. Not just do something difficult one time, but do it, know how much it sucks, and then come back for more and do it over and over and over again. That is the true sign of strength. And you have to prove that over time. It's not just something you can do right away. So as a colleague of mine aptly put it, he said that the people who try to act badass and look tough are not, whereas those who you would never guess that about them are the ones that are truly the tough ones, because they know that that's not something you go around bragging about, and they know that toughness is a matter of proving yourself over and over and over again over time. So when people ask me if I would do the experience all over again because I didn't like it so much, I always tell them I absolutely would. I would just do some things differently, because I don't regret the experience, and the lessons that I learned still benefit me greatly to this day. So I hope they do the same for you as well, and thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next video.